We are Don and Lisa, and many of you may know us as the Camper Couple. In the past, we shared with you our story of how a financial crisis forced us to live in our camper for a while, and our many adventures once we got back on our feet. Now we are totally debt-free. In our next chapter, we want to share with you what we've learned and maybe help you on a road to freedom.
Packing up for the big trip. We're gonna miss you, buddy. We cruising!
Woo!
Celebration! Actually, sunshine.
Sunshine, not the celebration.
But we're having a celebration. This is a celebration of being debt-free. Consumer debt. The Georgia room.
Yeah, this is where we're staying for the night. It's itsy bitsy bitsy, but it has a private bath.
It does have its own private bath. This is called
The Not So Hostel. And there's a little patio area out here.
Mm-hmm. It's got its own closet.
We are going to go explore Charleston for a little while.
But this is neat. This is a house, and you get to rent rooms.
Yes. So we got this one because it had its own bathroom, and I was not trying to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and leave my room. So.
But you get free coffee.
Yes.
That's why we get it. That's the real reason why we did this.
But if you haven't caught up, we are going on a cruise, and it leaves out of Charleston. We came down a day early so that we would have some time to hang out. And not be rushed to get to the ship tomorrow. And this is where we wound up. So we're going to go explore the city and show you around. So cute. I love historical places.
Fuel, place called Fuel.
Yes, something new in a new area, of course, which is what we do.
Fuel Cantina. Pretty cool.
Good way to start the trip. We're both hungry.
Well, especially with some mahi tacos,
Yes.
which we fell in love with at the Outer Banks.
Yes. We had so much fun exploring Charleston this evening. The architecture is amazing and the sunset was so pretty. We spent hours just walking around taking it all in. We even had dessert before dinner. The fountains, architecture, and just the atmosphere cannot be beat. It's a great place to leave for a cruise. We spent a whole couple hours just sitting watching the bay. It was a great break before our dinner. We ended up having dinner at this awesome place called Poogan's Porch. Like everything in Charleston, it's got a story. It is haunted by a dog named Poogan. They even have bowls out for him. I thought that was so cute. Not to mention that the food was amazing. After that, we just took a short walk back to the car and we went back to our hostel for the night before we got on our cruise the next day.
Chattanooga. That was Chattanooga. We couldn't board the ship until that afternoon, so that left us a good bit of time to explore more of Charleston. Parking costs about $6 per hour in the downtown area, but if you get away from the bay, you can find some free parking for a limited time, like we found at Cannon Park.
Oh my goodness. This your baby? So cute.
The columns that you see here are all that's left of the Thompson Theater, which burned down back in 1981. Later we went down to the historical Charleston City Market, which was first established in the late 1700s. Contrary to the assumptions of many, slaves were never sold at the city market. In fact, one of the largest concentrations of free black Americans lived here in Charleston, South Carolina, prior to the Civil War, and made their living here, selling goods at the city market.
This lights up too.
It's a cousin Eddie.
This lights up too. I like this one.
Yeah. Did you want to do that for the campground?
That would be hilarious. Yeah, but it's $125.
Oh.
That is super cute though.
Finally, it was time to board the ship.
Rum or tequila? It's cold here in Charleston right now. We're about to head to some much warmer climate. Going to be heading south to the Bahamas. And the cool thing about this is we're cruising with no debt. No debt at all. You can do these kind of things when it's in your budget.
Bye-bye, Charleston.
All right, our adventure in Charleston was a lot of fun, and we really enjoyed it, and we'll be getting back to our adventure very soon. But we wanted to give you a few tips on how to save money if you are traveling. That's one of the things that we have learned a lot over time is how to get the most out of your money and you have the most fun in the process. One of the things that you saw us do in this particular episode was we stayed at a hostel.
Right.
Now, a hostel is a cross between a house and a hotel. That's how it gets its name, hostel. It is a house where you can rent rooms out of this house. A lot of them have been converted to where they have private bathrooms like our room did, so that it feels pretty much the same as a hotel room.
Well, if you're an RVer, you would have been comfortable with this because it's unusual. We had a sink in the shower, y'all. It was kind of funny. So
it was very tiny. It was very tiny, and the sink was in the shower. So it'd be like having a wet room in an RV.
It was interesting. Don't go in there thinking that you are going to be highfalutin. It's not. It was a place to lay our head for the night, but it was clean and comfortable.
Well, here's the thing about it, though, is its location.
Yes.
Location, location, location. It's all about location. Here's the thing. The hostel is right in the middle of downtown Charleston. Now, if you were to go ahead and get a hotel in that area, you'd be paying a serious fortune to be there. And by staying at a hostel, we paid a lot less, and yet we were walking distance from a lot of activities that we were able to see.
And it was just for the night.
And we went, because we walked to breakfast, we walked to lunch. There were restaurants and things that were right there around us. It was right off of King Street, which is one of the main streets in Charleston. So that's another way of saving money, because if you're in walking distance, you don't have to spend gas. So that's another thing that can save you some money.
Yes. So it was a good way to fill in that gap. And we didn't have to go down early, but we wanted to.
Yeah, and we wanted to explore. I mean, Charleston's a great place in the first place.
Yes.
I mean, it's a tourist destination in and of itself. So even though it is the launch point for the boat, it's great to explore in and of itself.
And we had a high-end dinner while we were out. Huggins is not a inexpensive place to go, but it was fun.
Well, it's not like Ruth's Chris where you're going to spend over $100, but it was close. It was close. But we cheaped out on breakfast and lunch, and so that we could spend the money.
Have the big dinner.
So we could have that big dinner. It was in the budget. It was in the budget.
So I think that's one of the main points we would make, is just plan and moderate your spending. And go where you know those things you want to really do that are important, where you've got the money to do it. Where it's not a stressor, because that's no fun. Now, as far as just Charleston specifically, be prepared for parking when it's needed.
Expenses.
Yeah, that's one of your expenses that you're going to have. You can get a lot of really beautiful things that are special. It's not just buying a t-shirt, which is kind of me. I'll do that a little bit, but I collect silver jewelry, so that was important to me, is to be able to get a little piece of jewelry or something like that. And there's lots of that at reasonable prices. You know, think about what is personal to you. We sure did. You're talking about Charleston specifically. Be prepared for your parking, be prepared for your food, and be prepared for any souvenirs you might want to buy. And don't skip on the food, you'll regret it.
Right. You can skimp on the souvenirs. Like we saw that Cousin Eddie RV that we were going to use in our Christmas campground. No. $125 for a Christmas decoration. I don't think so. Some people might do that, not me.
Make that decision personally. But to me personally, the food's important.
And food is important.
But just be prepared for those little expenses. And that'll give you an idea of how you want to prioritize.
Right.
You do you.
Well, the thing is that we're doing all this with no credit cards. We have no credit cards whatsoever. We're doing this by planning ahead. And even before you book anything, you need to go ahead and make sure that you've got enough in your bank account, because some hotels, the cruise line especially, and some places will put a hold on your account. So they won't actually charge that amount, but that amount has to be in the account for them to put a hold on.
So it might be a situation where you want to pre-budget.
Right. Put a little bit of extra in there for that hold that they're going to use. Now you're going to get all that money back, and it'll never even be used. But like if you're renting a car or something like that, any of that, you can still use a debit card to do that if you have a higher balance. They have to put that big, large hold,
and we just don't do
on
that.
your account,
Yeah.
before they'll let the purchase go through. And once you return the car or do whatever,
It's released.
then it's released. Even getting gas outside of your home state will put a hold on your account. It's always good to have a balance up on a higher balance in your account if you're going to be using your debit card to travel.
For a buffer.
You have to have that buffer because they will put a hold. Now, once you're done with the purchase, you get that money back, but you have to have that higher balance. That's one of the things that tricks people into thinking, well, I can't use my debit card for this.
You can.
But you can. You can use your debit card. You just need to have that higher balance in your card so that they can put the hold on the account.
Yeah, and no big deal. We just had to move money from our other account to keep everything on the debit card versus anything else. But that's what we did, and it was a great experience. That's the best advice we can give you right now. Next time we're going to get into more of the cruise part of it,
Right.
and share with you more of our experience on the boat. That was interesting.
That was interesting.
But we'll tell you a lot more next time. And until then, happy camping.
And happy sailing.
Yes.
I can zoom in afterwards. So.
Okay. Right there in Charleston. So that specifically plan your food, plan for the parking, plan for a dog to bark.
Pause for a moment. Come here.
Hey buddy.
You want to come here? Here, buddy. Hey, come here.